This is Gerardo Del Real with The Outsider Club. Joining me today is the CEO of a new company, Magna Gold, Mr. Arturo Bonillas.
Thank you very much.
Un placer. Thank you very much for joining me.
Igualmente, mucho gusto.
You, of course, are the CEO of Magna Gold, as I just mentioned. It's a new company. You recently announced a transaction and acquisition. But before we get into the property and that acquisition, I want to talk about your extensive background and your history because you've been very, very successful. I'd like to remind subscribers, readers, and listeners about some of that success. So let's talk about your background a bit.
Thank you. You're very kind. I'm a Mexican citizen, born in Mexico. I was born in a mining town in northern Mexico, largest mine in Mexico at the time. And I went to school in the University of Arizona. I'm an industrial engineer. Came back home after graduation and started working in mining. And I remained there for 8 years. Then I moved on to work for a joint venture that existed at the time between Placer Dome and Frisco, a mine in Zacatecas called Minera Real de Angeles.
My home state, my parents.
Yes, I know. Yes.
Sí, señor.
Very successful operation. I was at the time vice president of exploration and new projects. That I'm talking 1989, 1990. So we developed the Timmins Gold project from base zero practically. And we took that into a pre-feasibility with 750,000 ounces on an open pit. Then the Placer Dome and Frisco decided to split because the new investment laws allowed it. Placer Dome kept Mulatos, and then I became independent. I started putting together properties, searching, evaluating, assessing, putting reports together with a small team, and then took them public since as early as 1994. And so we've listed about 5 companies. The initial 3 companies were successful. They became mines in other larger corporations. And the latter 2 companies were Silvermex Resources, who was acquired by First Majestic, and Timmins Gold Corp, who became a very successful operating mine.
So you're 5 for 5. You haven't missed.
Yes, I think so. Thank God.
That's rare.
Yeah, so I left Timmins Gold, that became Alio Gold a year and a half ago, in June. And then I took 3 days off and came back to work. I got phone calls from people interested in doing things. So that's how Magna Gold came into existence. Magna Gold Corp is a CPC right now. It should be a junior exploration company very soon. But Magna Gold Corp is formed by our team, the 20-year-old team, the team that worked together for 20 years. And the same people that were in the initial days of Mulatos, during Silvermex, and they were at times working for other companies, but we're here together. We are compiling all of those experiences, which are very valuable, and putting them into this new company. We're very proud of it. We have a great team. We have recently acquired a property, which is our first qualifying transaction. And we're searching, we're still looking at things. We have an extensive database of properties across the country. And we're funded and we're ready to fly.
Let's talk about how you acquired that database. You live in Sonora, correct?
That's correct. I live in Hermosillo, Sonora. I'm a Mexican national. The database it's information that we've acquired over the years, over the last 30 years or so. We've visited many properties in different companies or within our own shells. And I think we have 250 properties that we've visited, and sampled and all over the country. Fundamentally in the Sierra Madre, some in the Meseta Central, Zacatecas, some in Guerrero. And we are, besides initiating a drill program on the property that we just acquired, we are going to go on a search again, an evaluation search, and we hope to have another good asset before the end of the year.
Excellent, excellent. Can you name some of the members of the team that's been so successful?
Yeah, fundamentally, Miguel Soto. Miguel is our VP Exploration. He has worked all over Mexico, well recognized, well respected person. He's a figure in the geological world in Mexico. He's been recipient of many recognitions. Miguel is a geologist from Instituto Politécnico Nacional. And he's been in the business and working as a geologist for 40 years. But over the last 25 years, he's been in executive positions. He's considered one of the leading explorers in Mexico. And one of the important things about him and the team is that we know how to work with the public markets, what they expect. And we know what a 43-101 is. We know what a qualified transaction is, what's required to drill a property without any problems with an independent assessment. So that's very important. That's become very important.
You like to do things right.
We need to do things right, and we've been doing them for many years. And so that's a big quality in the team. We have other members, younger members. A couple of them, one of them is a process engineer, who's now our evaluations engineer, younger guy, but he grew up with us at Timmins Gold, and he's now, he operated, and he's good in making evaluations. Besides being a process engineer, he's also got an MBA, and an in-house lawyer. But what's more important now is that we have all the connections and the contacts outside, either to do technical work, qualified technical work, environmental work, contacts in government for the permitting, and political relationships to enhance what we're doing. We have very good relationships with, always had good relationships with governments, local governments, state governments, federal authorities, and we continue to do that. With the new government that came in, things look very good. I like the way they are getting organized with respect to mining, for example. They're bringing in very good people from the private sector to run the Ministry of Mines. I know they're going to get very qualified lawyers and mining people in the direction of mines, public registries. So it is going to be very good. One aspect that not disturbed me, but I was annoyed about the past tax reform signed 4 years ago. We were imposed taxes, an additional royalty, 7.5% on the EBITDA of all the companies. And I was okay with it, because when you receive that tax back, it's a royalty that's supposed to come back to the towns. Right. Which is good.
Because it encourages good relationships.
It's fantastic, yes. Because we still, when we're operating in a mine or in any community, we take care of the community. There's no other way. These mining properties are remote. People are very poor generally. They don't have water, electricity. So we provide all of that to the communities. And so this tax, this royalty was supposed to come back to the communities. The problem is that it became bureaucratic. And just so we pay the royalty, goes up to the federal government, and the cascade, 50% of the money is lost in the bureaucratic cascade. And then it comes down to a committee where you don't know where the money goes.
They take the other 50%.
Yes, but now that's going to change.
That's what I was going to ask.
That's one of the things with the new government, is that money is going to come to the community. And that's very good. That's very positive. So I'm not against the royalty at all.
So you see the incoming president as a positive for the mining sector in Mexico?
He announced a 25-point economic program to become one of the most successful countries in the world, social-wise, economic-wise, and mining is one of those points. He will allow, he not only will allow, he will promote mining, and the only thing he asked for when he was on his speech, he's not president yet, but
correct.
He says, what we want from miners is, number one, to operate cleanly, environmentally correctly, and number two, to pay good salaries, and to be good neighbors. But we are that already.
And you've been that for many, many years.
And all modern companies, organized companies, who trade on markets, that's our number one priority, to be good neighbors, to be very strict with the environmental situation, environmental ecosystems. And mining is the best paying job in Mexico. The mining generates the best paying jobs in the country. I would say probably 50% over the manufacturing level or industry level.
Which is significant.
Which is quite significant, yes. And also the higher echelons of the corporation, Mexican mining company, they earn the same as any U.S. or Canadian technical guy or executive.
Excellent. Arturo, you touched on the new acquisition. You mentioned a drilling program. When can we expect some of that news to start showing up?
Well, we have to wait for exchange approval on this transaction.
That's pending as we speak.
That's pending as we speak, yes. But we do have a 43-101 that was completed recently, very recently, and we also have a budget, and the program should be completed in 6 months after we get approval. It's a $500,000 US program, 2,000 meters of drilling, and the target is to two targets. One is to come up with an initial resource on the area that is best known, that is drilled, and also to define drill targets in other 5 targets, very clear targets within the land package.
And what type of property, what type of metals are you targeting?
This is a gold property.
Strictly gold property.
Some silver, but this is strictly gold property, open pit, leachable, and it's actually a very good rock to leach, soft rock. This would become a series of open pits in the same area. Leach pads, crushing. The biggest cost would be cyanide. In summary, this is the type of project that has a low capex because it requires very few equipment, and it's well located. Its infrastructure is great. It's in a nice district. And two, the cash costs, operating costs should be very low. Should be, I don't know, below $600 an ounce. And the ore body can be developed also very quickly because it's not remote, and it's a well-known area geologically. And I think that this could be a very good first qualifying transaction.
You mentioned your database, your extensive database. Is this going to be the same criteria for potential acquisitions? Low capex, gold properties, good infrastructure?
Yeah, the way we see things is either, it's low capex, lower grade as long as it is
tonnage,
and again, low capex. Or we are willing to go and see high grade underground, which is at times better, because high grade it always protects you. And there's a lot of that in Mexico. So that would be the criteria. Fundamentally, your margins. And I like low capex, and I like to grow things. And I also think that we will be able to do different types of deals because of we're positioned in Mexico, because of our connections and our technical people, operators. I think that we'll be able to do significant joint ventures with existing companies.
Excellent. It sounds like an exciting time. Full disclosure, I'm biased. I'm a happy shareholder. I'm holding. I'll likely be buying more soon. We're
Great.
kicking the tires on a new idea, Magna Gold. Arturo, un placer.
Muchísimo gusto. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much.
A ti.